Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Over in the Town. Glad you're here. In front of the cameras again and still looking for our first Premier League home win. We succumb to 10-man Tottenham Hotspur and we lose 1-0. A win that pushed Spurs to the top of the Premier League, giving them their best start to top flight season for 63 years. And defeat that briefly put us back in the bottom three. We're going to discuss the game in more detail in a moment, and we're going to ask, why do we think we're not scoring from all the chances we've made? We asked you that. I'm going to ask Steve and Bataro that. We have your 3 road reviews and much, much more. As usual, we've got Steve and Bataro with us. Thanks for coming out, boys. How are you feeling today?
Wonderful young man. Yeah.
Young man, thank you.
I don't know. Don't blow smoke up, mate. But no, it's, yeah. How do we feel? Sorry, Dave. How do I feel? You answered the question also. Sorry, Dave, just jump in there. Deflated. Look, let's not dwell too much on the game before we talk about the game. But I walked away very, very disappointed.
Yes.
And I think that's what got me.
The way it panned out is what made it frustrating and annoying, because I think we missed an opportunity where we weren't expecting one.
That's very true. Let's have a look at your 3-word reviews today. Nathan said, frustrating, yes again. Paul, keep the faith, and Matt thinks it will come. Mark Crowther, ineffective against 10. Lou, same old story. Justin, forgot scoring boots. Luke, Ogbedi, class again. Dan, shooting practice needed. Davey, subs lacked impact. And Neville, convert some chances. I mean, you can take your pick of those fellas.
Frustrating yet again from Nathan. I think that's the first one. First one was on there, and the first one I come to because, like I said, I think we're all a bit frustrated, aren't we, after that Saturday?
Ogbene class again. What a man for a transfer that was free and ridiculed by our wonderful friends up the road. He's turning up to be one of the best.
He is a star, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, every time he starts and he's quick, he's intelligent. He just controls the game from his position, doesn't he?
Yeah, what I love about him as well, he isn't phased. I would say he's the one that doesn't look phased at all by being in the Premier League. He's a leader. You can see him organising. He's always talking to the other players at every opportunity given. You know, I think maybe the Republic of Ireland status helps him. He doesn't look phased at all. Love him.
I was going to say, actually, international footballer of his ilk really is something that if we get relegated, can we keep him?
Yeah, of course.
Can we keep him, or do we just profit from him?
Well, I think that's down to us, isn't it? You know, he's not going to be on a 12-month contract, so that's down to us. You know, he's clearly going to show ambition, but, you know, we'll see. But anyway, you don't have to worry about that because we're not going down.
I love your confidence, Steve. I hope you're right. Let's have a look at the Luton 0, Tottenham 1. Early kick-off as 12:30 Saturday. First off, 12:30 Saturday. Don't like that.
No.
Absolutely don't like that. I mean, I'm quite grateful for the revenue for the club for being on television, but it's not a good time to start football, is it?
Is that an alcohol-based
I was just about to say the same thing, yeah.
No, we still went for breakfast, Steve, and we still had breakfast pints as you would expect, because that's what you do for football.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what you should have joined us.
I had a dodgy pint on Saturday as well. It was filthy.
It was filthy.
6.5%, mate. It tastes like, I don't know.
Anyway,
pure crap.
We had 3 changes from the Burnley game. Anderson, Adebayo and Burke for Mengi, Bell and Kabore. I'm not surprised that we made the change with Kabore, Bataro, are you?
I mean, yeah, he's not been horrible, but he's not looked at his best the last couple of games, has he, or so? But
you said you was really excited about when he came to the club.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I still think he's going to come good. Or I think he started the season off okay. Like, did all right. I mean, it's just the last couple, 2-3 games or so. He's not been at it, but he's made a lot of errors that not led to goals. But look, just the fact that we've got players that can play in that position. I mean, Jacob Brown, I think, was it he one that played at right wing back the other day? I think he started it, didn't he?
Don't know, mate.
Yeah.
I think Kabore looks raw because I think when he gets the ball, he really gallops forward. So I think he's still quite raw. You know, I still think he can be a fantastic player, but I think he probably needs to work on his defensive play.
I mean, like, no, that's it. I mean, the fact that Man City have kept him and they highly rate him and they regard him as maybe potentially one for the future, I mean, that says it all, doesn't it, really? I mean, look, you got like Guardiola and all that, like keeping tabs on him, then he's got to be doing something right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just progress.
So the first thing I'm going to say to you is rather bizarre. Well, not bizarre. I didn't even notice Tottenham walking out of the bloody tunnel because of that terrible strip.
What a shocking kit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, what colour was it?
I'm colourblind, don't ask me.
Butterscotch, smingy,
Smingy.
you know, something like that. But no, it was an absolute. It was a
terrible.
shocker.
All right, but I was looking forward to seeing. I mean, obviously they're on a roll. Tottenham Hotspur on a roll. Like I said in the beginning, their best start for a not just the Premier League, 63 years, the best start they've ever had. And obviously they're dreaming of continuing that start and maybe with their new manager becoming champions. That's what they're aiming for, and I don't blame them. So I'm looking forward to seeing all these players that I've seen on the television and they walk out and I'm thinking, well, I reckon we're up for this today. Game starts.
It felt like an occasion. When Luton walked out, it felt like an occasion.
I wanted it to be. I think every one of the games against the Big Six and more is like a cup game for us. And I think we really should have gone for it better. So the thing that disappointed me when we started was the amount of time and respect we gave their players. Yeah. They had acres and acres of time. There was one stat sent to me by 12th Man Podcast, and it said that we'd only completed 9 passes in the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Something like that. Now, I don't know if that is true, but the thing that angered me about it was we gave them so much. Did you feel the same? So much respect.
I mean, we're both behind the goal. I mean, that's the goal they attack, obviously, first half. I mean, was it first sort of...
It was wave after wave, wasn't it?
I think they should be 3-0 up in about 9 or 10 minutes, shouldn't they, really?
Thank goodness for Richarlison.
He's terrible, isn't he? But no, look, it was almost like you say, too much respect. It's almost like we stood off them until they got into the area. Then it was a bit like, oh, now we need to start closing them down a little bit.
You say stood off them, right? There's a couple of moments where... I think Romario or someone like that had the ball. Romero, sorry. Romero. They're all the same.
Yeah, it's called the whole thing off.
But he's got the ball at his feet. No one goes to challenge him. Yeah. He looks up and he goes, oh, I could pass it to that guy over on the right. Yeah. Or I could pass it to... do you know what? I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. And then I know the Premier League works like that. I know it's tactical like that. But... he plays the ball, no one shuts the next person down. Before you know it, they're through our midfield. Yeah.
I think the problem with the way we started with regards to our tempo means that we then had to find a foothold in the game. Whereas if we'd have gone from the off and made it more of an even start, we're already, we've got a foot on the ladder already. I think we had to sort of come behind on momentum side of things because we did give them so much respect.
I mean, tactically, obviously... that was their intent. Give them the ball in their own half, and then close them up. I mean, so did it work like that? Because it didn't feel like that to me. I felt they cut through us like a knife through butter at times.
They did. Like you say, until the final, like the last line. The only thing is, though, Dave, what I will say is they have done this season to, with all due respect to us, better teams. They have done that to better teams. Well, so-called better teams. Not, do you know what I mean? Like, the teams with all the money and
more
all
established.
Yeah, there you go. But I'm not being rude. Obviously, we know where we're at, and we're doing bloody well as well at the same time.
Yeah.
But look, they are a very good side. I'll be honest, for me, they've been the best team in the league this season so far.
But you don't make it easy for them by standing off them for the first 10 or 15. Maybe we didn't stand off them, but that is how it felt, yeah.
I was going to say in the first 10, 15 minutes, and again, I'll ask your opinion, I sat there and I did text again the Premier League podcast, and I just said to them, if this carries on, I see a Newcastle scoreline here.
I was looking at a 4-0, to be honest
easily,
with you, in that first few moments.
If they'd have scored 4 in the first half, it would have been the chances they created.
Yeah.
Well, if you think Everton could have had 3 in the first 15 or 20 as well.
And that was my only my only saving grace was exactly the same. I thought we're going to get some possession, but I didn't feel we had much at all.
I don't think it happened till about maybe 25 minutes in, did it? 25, 30 minutes in, we got a bit of grip of the game and whatever else. But can I just mention quickly as well, Thomas Kaminski, 2 brilliant saves that kept us in it as well.
It is. You've gone early though, Bataro. We've got to wait for that to.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
mate.
But I'm sure we will as we go through through the game.
I told you I can't read. There's no point putting these bits of paper. I can't read.
We'll draw pictures for him next week.
So we're saying, obviously, even with the crap kit on, they got on it, and Spurs were really out of the traps real quick, and it was wave after wave after wave. Richarlison had a fantastic chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the man, obviously.
It's embarrassing, that miss, though.
It was a terrible miss. And they should have been 1-0 up there.
Yeah.
Kaminski was brilliant. You've already said Kaminski was brilliant.
2 brilliant saves. I mean, that second one, I think it was the second one, we tipped it around the post. That, for me,
was a fantastic save.
That's unbelievable, that is.
And it's important because if we go 1-0 behind, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done straight away.
That was undoubtedly his best game in a Luton shirt, without a shadow. But yeah, I mean, the one that he kicked away, didn't he? That was his first save.
Left leg sticks out, whatever else.
But I mean, that one that he tipped round, he was proper stretching, and so
I mean, from obviously where I think you're slightly to the left of me, Steve, aren't you? So you're a bit more behind the goal as I'm to the right of that goal. So but the angle I had was like, I was going in that far corner.
Well, I thought it was, but
and all of a sudden, bang, he's tipped it around the post. You think, I mean, hats off to him. That was brilliant.
No, undoubtedly his best game for us.
Yeah.
When you look back at the first half, I don't know if you made the same observation. Who do you think was man marking Madison? Because I think I thought
was it Pelly?
I think Pelly was man marking Madison at one point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and
I think they all had to go, didn't they?
I mean, because he really did have freedom to be wherever he wanted to go. He was literally all over the pitch at different stages. So I think it was maybe not a man marking job, but whoever was nearest to him had to pay proper attention on him. Very quickly, I think maybe Pelly, you know, each division we've gone up, Pelly has had 5 or 6 games to adjust. I thought that was his best game of the season, and there were signs that he was slowly adjusting to the new level as well.
Of course, I mean, with all due respect to Pelly, like, he was like, I'm not being horrible, he wasn't great last week.
He's had a difficult start, but
on Saturday he upped his game against better opposition as well, and he done all right.
Still a long way to go, I'm sure he'll say, but I just thought he was showing signs of adjusting to the new level.
What I was going to say is I actually thought he did a good job when he was marking Madison. I expected, I mean, obviously goal aside, which we'll talk about in a minute, I expected more from him. I expected more from Son. I expected more from Tottenham. And, once they hadn't scored and now you're getting back into the game, it got a bit better. And, you've got to think about, Kaminski keeping us in the game more than once in the first 10 minutes. And then we score.
Yeah.
And there you're tutting. So I've looked at this. I mean, I stand right opposite where the in inverted commas push was, and I know I'm wearing my rose tinted specs, but was it a push, Steve?
Massively, yeah, because I've seen it back.
Right.
Really, you think?
But I've seen it back. I thought it was a big dirty push.
Right, okay, a big dirty push. But
they go down in the Premier League, don't you? You see that as soon as a player is under pressure in several games, you see him going down. I thought it was definitely a push.
I mean,
if you watch it back in slow, and you see that whoever, I can't remember who he pushed to be there. Was it your man that scored?
Supposed to be Romero's. Van der Ven,
one of the two in the centre backs. He's got his shirt. He's got his shirt. He's grabbing his shirt first. He's pulling his shirt, pulling him away, pulling him towards him. And that annoyed me more. Despite that, at the time, Lockyer wouldn't have known there was going to be a free kick. How brave was he to put his head there?
He's already got a black eye. Puts his head there. Have another one.
I thought he was going to butt the post or something. I thought, bloody hell, mate, go on. But nah.
His natural beauties are going to be a thing of the past if he keeps getting kicked in the face.
I just think that let's not mention the referee too much, who I thought was poor. I thought he was poor. Definitely lots going to them. There was one time when one of the back four, I can't remember if it was who it was, but he got tackled. Oh no, it's second half. So no, that's the forward that was doing that and rolling around like he'd been killed.
Yeah.
And then when the ball played forward, he got up and run back like nothing had happened.
Yeah.
They would sorry, also I know we're touching the second half, but they were doing that constantly. As soon as they were under pressure, down. I know obviously it's game management. Everyone
It's
does it
been
to
a theme
degree,
throughout the season, though.
but that was beyond a joke. I'm sorry. I mean, the referee. If you keep going down, I'll be like, do you know what, mate? Go and get some treatment. Get off the pitch. Go on, off you go. Bye.
Well, he did that at one point, which was good.
At one point, that was it, Dave. How many times did they go down? 7, 8 times.
Oh.
It seems to be a theme in this division that it's acceptable that when they're under pressure that they can go down and get a free kick.
And the referees buy it as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're getting towards half time. Bataro and Bissouma, who'd already been booked,
What? Wow.
he decided to go for Olympic gold. And,
I don't know what he was
probably
thinking.
got it.
Greg Laganis.
Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking, this guy. I mean, to be fair, I didn't realise he was on the yellow card already. Obviously, I didn't realise it was him that got booked maybe, I think it was 6-8 minutes previous to that or whatever. But, I mean, Christ almighty, what is he doing? You've gone past one player, and I don't know who it was in his way and whatever else, or the side of him, and he's just gone flying, hasn't he? What are you doing?
He wasn't even in the box, was he? He was
No,
outside.
he was outside.
Yeah.
It was an absolute stinker. Do you think maybe an ounce of frustration because they weren't getting it all their own way in how they expected the game to go?
Maybe, but then saying that though, Steve, right? The thing is, right? He's saying like he's frustrated. I get that, but at the same time, you've got to know that there's cameras. I know that VAR don't really work properly sometimes, but you've got.
Well, that's I mean, that's what makes it so bloody stupid. I mean, and it was clearly premeditated.
And the thing is, right? As soon as the referee goes up to you, like you said, gives a free kick the other way, obviously for simulation, whatever else. He then Bissouma straight away his body language.
I was going to say he was totally exceptional of it.
Off,
I mean, but still a brave decision because it'd been easy for the ref just to have a word with him. You know, you're on a yellow, don't do anything.
Well, you get booked for simulation automatically.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he had a word with him there, we would all been off our seats.
I would have been really.
Yeah. It would have been a disgrace, but no, it's ridiculous.
So half time comes 0-0 against 10 men, and now you're thinking.
It was only 10 minutes for the last. 10 men for the last few minutes of it, though.
Yeah, what I'm saying, after the half time's gone, you're thinking second half's coming.
Yeah.
And now I want Luton not to stand off their players.
Yeah.
I want them to press up. If it was, football is a game of two halves, and it certainly was for us on Saturday. Second half, I thought we started quite strong, Steve.
Yes, and we had to. I thought our two wingers really put a shift in again. You know, they're so exciting, Doughty and Obene. I think they're absolute mustard, and nearly everything came through them. I don't recall an awful lot coming through the middle, but Nakamba had a shot in the first half. Everyone would shout, shoot. I was, don't shoot. And of course, it completely spliced it high and wide.
I love it, as much as we love Marv, like if he does listen to this or it gets out, please mate, stop shooting, please, you're killing us.
One good shot in his time, and that was the penalty at Wembley. That's his only good shot.
It will come.
Yeah.
Straight into the second half, then we come out, and actually we start really quick. Ogbeni, as usual, racing down that right hand side, and the perfect cross, Pizarro. It comes across, and one of your main strikers is there.
Oh no, yeah.
And Elijah. It's to quote an old FA Cup saying, Elijah must score.
I have no idea what that is or where it's from, but
Brighton, Man United, Smith must score.
Okay.
But Elijah must score.
Do you know what, right? I was sitting there trying to defend him when it had happened, right? And now I've seen it back. Oh my word. Just take it with your left foot. What are you doing? Why are you trying to go with his right foot? Go with your left and just slide in. If he goes with his left, he scores. You get a stud and you get a goal. But at first, right, this might sound crazy. I think I was in such disbelief that he'd missed it. I was going, it was a poor cross. It was a poor cross. It was too much on it. It was going out. And I thought,
it's a perfect cross.
It was a great cross. It's brilliant. But I just think I was in such disbelief. I couldn't accept it.
Steve, if he just sticks his left leg out, it hits it goes in.
It's just totally unacceptable. It really is. He scored a goal last season down that end where he fetched one in with his right foot, similar sort of thing, sort of batting it back in.
Yeah.
And I said to my mate at the time, I said, that really should have been with his left foot, but that one went in. Anyway, it's not acceptable that he's missed. What's acceptable is a professional footballer that has got so little faith and trust in their wrong foot. And as a result of that, why hasn't he been working on his so-called weaker foot? It was absolutely awful his decision making. Yeah, people can miss. Richarlison did in the first half. The fact that he went with it with his right foot is where that was the biggest crime to me.
Yeah.
And if we're just going to talk about Elijah for a moment, I'm more frustrated that you look at the size of him, physique and everything. Put yourself about. He is not strong enough. He doesn't use his physique. He doesn't use his strength. And that is, if that's a confidence thing, again, I can see that. But he's got to push himself about.
To be fair to Elijah, he has used it in the past. And if you think about what he did at the Wembley final,
yeah,
he's got it there, hasn't he?
This is the thing, right? I mean, I had a couple of people message me at the weekend, obviously, as soon as that happened, because, the whole world's watching and their dog and whatever else. But a couple of my mates would text me saying, mate, your guy up top, Adebayo, shocking, blah, blah, blah. And I was sitting there going, come on, leave the guy alone. Yeah, it was a terrible miss. Like you say, there's no excuses for it. But we've still got to remember, this guy's 23 years old, 24 years old. Still, I know you're sitting there, Steve, and you're no, but the thing, no. There's no excuse for that. That doesn't excuse that. But what I'm saying is, in overall for him, he's still a young guy. He come from League Two. He played 2 seasons and a half in the Championship. And for me, he started on fire, and then he set that level. He set that barrier, and he set that the heights up there.
Yeah, and he hasn't got back to it.
But at the same time though, he's then had to play last season. He's had to play a role where he's not the main striker anymore. It's a difference for him. He has to do a bit more work, this and that, blah blah blah.
I think there was quite a lot of time last season though where Carlton played more to the wing, because I remember on numerous occasions thinking Morris would have got that, Morris would have scored that, Morris would have scored that.
System though, isn't it? Though?
Yeah, but there was plenty of time when Elijah was the central main man and he still wasn't putting it away.
No, I get that. I do get that. But the thing is, I think we need to remember though, he came from League Two level and he's still we're trying to nurture. You got to think, right, in 2 seasons, since we got him, 2.5 seasons, 3 seasons, whatever it is, I don't know the exact maths.
Yeah.
But he has come from League Two, a £300,000 player. I know that doesn't mean anything. Money means nothing. But at the end of the day, £300,000, and what he's done with that 300 grand, what he's done with us spending that on him, for me, that's well worth it.
Yeah, he had the good first season, but he hasn't progressed from there.
Steve, how is this different from what you just said about Pelly? Because Pelly started, you've said, differently every time, every different. How is this different?
How is it? What comparing the two players?
Yeah, how is it different with his progress?
Well, I say I just don't think that Elijah uses his attributes well enough. Okay, he's a strong, tall lad. I think that he is pushed off the ball too easily. I don't think he wins enough balls in tackles. It doesn't justify how strong and athletic he is. I think he can do more. And you can't tell me that Mick Harford over the last couple of years hasn't been sort of, talking to him on the training ground about, sort of putting himself about headers and, strong tackles and stuff like that. But, it's not just that shot. It's the overall what he can bring.
Are you just disappointed because we've seen him do better?
No, I'm disappointed because I know he can do so much better in so many different areas.
Right.
That's what I'm frustrated about. And if you have got such a rubbish left foot, I have, and I'm left-footed, but he should be practicing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm sure that they'll be coaching a bit differently. So we missed a glorious chance, obviously, and then 5 minutes later, 3 corners in a row for Tottenham, and then we just switch off. We switch off. Pataro, how disappointed were you with the way that Madison just danced around our defenders?
It was Doughty, wasn't it? Done him like a kipper on that byline.
Yeah, I mean, was it Doughty? Is there 2 of them over there at the same time?
Well, he done Doughty on the byline.
Ah, okay, right. Yeah, and then he obviously comes in, then he plays it across, is it, to Van der Ven, and and he tucks it away.
I mean, Van der Ven, well, he stepped back. He finished it really well. You got to say that.
Yep.
But we shouldn't have let him have that chance.
Poor defending, like you say, from Doughty. I mean, we love Doughty. He's been probably our best player. Well, not best player, but the last 4 games best player. But I just can't get my head around it. You've seen off so much. Like, you made some great saves in the first half. You've seen off so much, and do you know what I mean? You think,
there's a drop of the shoulder, wasn't it? And he was in.
just a lapse of concentration yet again, and we get it every single time. And don't get it wrong, right? I know it's difficult. I would never want to play in the Premier League. Even if I was good enough, I'd still be shitting my pants every week. Let's face it. But look, you have to do better. Just have to do better. Look, you're in. I know that you're in when you're in the area, right? I'm going a bit here, but when you're in the area, you don't want to put a stick of leg in, or you don't want to make a foul. I get that, but you need to get goal side. You need to get in front of that ball. You can't give them time. You cannot give players of Madison's quality and whoever else on the day, blah, 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 because you've seen it.
And that has been the defending that we have been doing for the last 3 years. You know, those last minute dives in front of the ball, that is how we've been defending. But
I'm sorry, but if you do that in a championship, you're still going to concede as well. Because the thing is, in the championship and the Premier League, all right, there's a bit of a difference, but even if you do what happens in the corner, you defend like that and switch off. Even in the Championship, you get punished for that. So there's no excuse.
No chance for Kaminski on that, though. No. So, you know, that was almost a good thing, you know, that you can not level anything at the keeper and that. I think there was maybe one or two players in front of him and the ball was only 5 or 6 yards out. So
yeah, and then when that goal goes in, your heart goes down and you just go, oh, we know what's coming. Yeah. We know what's coming. They've got 10 men. And they're going to put everyone behind the ball. It's exactly what they did. But then we had a glorious chance next. Pelly crosses, Doughty gets the ball, and you're thinking, this is a good chance. This is the goal. I was expecting him to fire it in like he did at QPR.
Doughty absolutely levers it on the volley.
He levers it and pushes it fast.
Slightly past the post.
He caught it fat. It's sort of, you know, he mishit it. But he is the one person that you would have put in that position to receive that cross.
I mean, don't get wrong. Like, I'll be honest. I can't sit there and slate him for this because that is a hard chance to take as well. It's a difficult technique. If he gets that, he looks like Robin van Persie from his prime. Do you know what I mean? So it's. I
think we're disappointed because he has got such a clean left foot.
He's definitely done it before.
Yeah.
Not the only chance we had. 64 minutes comes, and again, he puts a wonderful cross in, and unmarked on his own. Jacob Brown. I'll say it again. Should he score?
Yeah. Same as Fulham. It's got to be on target.
I can't remember this one.
It's header, free head.
Free header.
Was it looping back across the goal and it gets cleared off the line?
No. He just sent it 2 or 3 yards over the top. It has to be on target. I'm not saying you've got to score, but same as the Fulham one, it has to be on target. You know,
We're sounding quite angry, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, because we missed an opportunity, and forget the fact that it's one of the big clubs. We missed an opportunity to get points, to get our first win, and it's the same stuff. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're in the Championship or the Premiership, these are gilt-edged chances that we're screwing up.
Can I just say as well, right, the fact that we're sitting here getting you say anger, I say passionate, but the fact we're getting passionate and we're getting a bit getting a bit fired up over it is because I think that just proves the level we're actually at. Like, I think that just proves that we're actually doing all right here. We know we can get results out of this. We can do it.
We've been in every game. We've been in every game.
Yeah. And we are looking better and better every week. I mean, Lockyer, I think he said it yesterday or whenever it was. Again, we're getting better every week. We're trying to adapt and whatever else.
Yeah.
Which, it's true. And he also said, what was it? We just need to take our chances and blah blah blah. And obviously, you can understand they're probably the most frustrated because they're the ones out on the pitch. Like they're probably sitting there going, "Come on, we should have got something out of that."
Very quickly as well. How ridiculous! Carlton Morris sort of running around with a load of tissues. He's running around like that, and then goes for a header, then back up to his nose.
Well, can I just say at that point, what I would say about that is that proves what a player he is because he wasn't rolling around like the Tottenham players. He was wanting not to go off for a blood stop, you know. So
I mean, I've not heard. He must have busted his nose, though.
I don't know. But
I mean, it came out second half as well, didn't it?
Yeah. No, it did start bleeding again in the second half. Yeah,
right.
But I would say about him is that shows his determination to succeed. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the sort of person you want. It wasn't our last chance though. Corley Woodrow had a great chance to go 1-1. Okay.
Kicks the floor, doesn't he?
Okay, go for it. Bataro first. Steve said, I feel a moan coming on from Steve. So
look at his face. Look at him. I mean,
just look at his face.
Barry Davis.
Yeah.
I knew that. Yeah,
go on then.
But no, look. I think the ball gets was it go over the top, doesn't it? He takes great, a very very good first touch, and you think, you could take another touch as well. back across the defender again and hit it. But he just somehow scuffed it against the floor, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he kicked the floor.
Morris nodded it on over the defender.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
And his first touch was nowhere near enough, and it just stayed under his body.
Yeah.
First touch, and there was plenty of space between him and where the keeper was going to be.
He had to beat him,
so he had to push it out. At the time, I thought maybe the defender and him kicked the ball at the same time. I think there was a sort of a lunging tackle from the defender. I wasn't sure if it was a clean shot or if the defender got a bit on it.
I think the defender was about a yard and a half behind him, 2 yards behind him, I think.
I think they almost got there at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, my eyes are shocking, man.
Because I remember thinking, I think the defender got it, but first touch, got to be better. Mm-hmm. And then I'm sure, because Tom Lockyer said he's the best finisher in the club, I'm sure he would have made the keeper really work hard for it. But, yeah... It just looked like a naff finish, didn't it?
I know the rest of the world are saying we don't deserve to be here. I don't want to linger.
Screw 'em.
I don't want to be lingering too much on that. But we deserved, with our second half performance, something out of that game.
Yeah.
And I think Tottenham would be relieved that they went home 1-0 and they're top of the table. And the fact that they're top of the table and we only lost 1-0 is a really good thing.
I think that the manager even said after the game, he said, do you know what? Fair play to Luton. They made it hard for us. Do you know what I mean? That it wasn't what we expected, kind of thing. I think he almost said that. I mean, I haven't seen his whole interview, so don't quote me on that. But it was almost the vibe you got.
Yeah.
He knows he was a bit fortunate.
Yeah, he's a top bloke though. He's very respectful, you wouldn't expect anything else of him. But yeah, you just felt like you missed an opportunity when you weren't expecting to have that opportunity.
It's disappointing because I think we could have got better. But you know what? It is what it is. We lost 1-0. We're still not in the bottom three. We're still not the worst of the three teams that have been promoted. And we're still in with a shout to push on. So a couple of things that Jacob has written down for us. Producer Jacob, thank you very much. Pelly's now faced 105 teams as a Hatter. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's mad.
No player has played in more games with the Hatters under Rob Edwards, 39 out of 42 games, than Elijah. That's crazy, isn't it?
Wow. Really?
And we haven't kept a clean sheet for 11 matches, but I wanted to gloss over that.
Yeah.
While we're talking about shots and chances missed, because I genuinely feel that was a chance missed, total chance missed. And the same at Burnley, the same when we played Wolves.
Yep.
You know, we should be converting these. And a lot of the thing
for Fulham as well, mate.
And Fulham, a lot of the problems with that is that we're not taking the chance. We created enough to win games, but we're not taking the chances. Why don't you think that's happening?
I don't know. I don't want to say anything that's going to sort of like maybe sound a bit too harsh, but just maybe the quality sometimes. Like you've got to play like certain. You have to adapt. Like you say, you have to adapt. Get out. You have to adapt to what you're playing against. And sometimes when you have to adapt, you have to play like a switch long ball. When you have to try. If you're not used to that sort of play, then it's going to be it can be harder to maybe adapt to it.
I think they are probably apprehensive because they know the desperation for everyone to do well on that. As I say, Doughty's snatch at that volley. He's got such a beautiful left foot. I was surprised by that. Maybe Jacob Brown was trying to do too much with the header, which is why it went sort of way over the bar and that. But, again, going back to Fulham, Colton done that left foot volley in the first half, snatched it and that. Maybe there's just not that
pressure,
level of composure. Because I think the chances that we're creating are, some of them, they're gilt-edged.
Yeah, of course.
And if you've got an ice-cold, composed striker who's not thinking, I'm playing Tottenham or I'm playing in the Premier League, I think a lot more of them will go in the net.
But Tara, do you really think they're thinking that? Do you think they're thinking...
They're feeling the pressure.
Yeah, I mean...
They are feeling more
pressure,
of a pressure.
I think that is a thing. 'Cause what I was about to say, I was about to touch on that, obviously, before you said it, Dave. What I was going to say is the fact of when you're down the bottom as well, right, and you're fighting for your lives, and you go a goal down when you maybe feel a bit hard done by, for example, I think mentally it's going to play on your mind. And you think, if I get an opportunity, I have to score it. And when you're thinking, I have to score that, otherwise we're going to lose the game, I think then you look at it and you go, oh shit! Look, the ball's coming over to you. I mean, what would you be thinking, Dave? Like, honest. I don't know if you're going to play football.
Dave would be thinking, I better put my drink down.
Yeah. Don't get nutmeg, Dave, will you?
The forwards that we have and the players that we have had the balls to step up and take penalties in the biggest game of
Yeah.
our life. How can that be any more or less pressure than the Premier League? Because that was probably more stressful, Bataru.
No. It's probably more stressful and it meant more, but I just think it's also a different, what's the word? A different feeling. I mean, knowing you're good enough, say like in the Championship, knowing you're good, you're a great team, you should be going up, blah, 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 whatever else. Yeah, I'm not saying the pressure's not there, but you need to step into it going, no, we finished third here. We're the third best team in this league. We're going to win it. But when you're at the bottom of the table in the Premier League and you're creating some decent chances and you can't finish them, it's going to play on your mind. And when you look at the stats as well and you go, oh, we've only scored, how many goals we scored this season? 5, 4, something like that? 5 goals? In 8 games, is it?
Yeah.
7, 8 games. I think that's going to play on them as well. I think they know that they have to start getting on a score sheet. I'll tell you what, if it goes another couple of games we don't score a goal, we're going to have problems.
I think there is a big difference between those two scenarios that you gave, Dave. And on the penalties, we were absolutely meticulous with our planning. You know, people knew that there was the chance for penalties, and we talked about it at the time. They were coached as to when to put the ball down in relation to what the keeper was doing, and it was very much a robotic process that they all went through, and they trained it and trained it and trained it.
Yeah.
This is all instinct in a flash of an eye, and that's the big difference.
And this is very different this season as well. It's very different. The thing is, right, I mean, I know we're sitting here saying, about, for example, Doughty's chance, Ronnie snatched it, it's gone past, and people might go, oh, that was in the Championship, he would have scored that. I'm not too sure. Maybe, yeah, because the confidence is flowing. You know what I mean? You try different things. And I think when you're stressed, I think, you know yourself, Jens, when you're stressed, you're tense. You're stressed out and you're tense. You need to become more elastic in a way. It sounds weird, but...
I don't see that they feel we've got to score, you know, we're down the bottom, we're in the relegation. I don't think about the table or relegation zone at all at the moment. I really don't. I just see it that each individual occasion... There's such a desperation to win and do well, and I think that's maybe in those split-second composed moments. But I don't see that it's a relegation thing this early on in the season.
No, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, do you not? I mean, Dave, I want to know your opinion on this as well. Do you not think that obviously being down there and whatever else? So, I know the players have said. I think Lockyer said it last week as well in an interview. He said, we try not to look at other people on social media, what they're saying about us, trying to put us down. He goes, but you do see it. Do you think when they see it, they think, I'm going to try and prove this person wrong, I'm going to try and prove them wrong? I think that makes it even harder sometimes. For me, that would make it 10 times more difficult.
I hope to God they don't take what we say seriously, because we're just a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, but we're not saying anything bad though, are we?
Right, you two speak for yourselves.
Hang on, I never said anything.
Well, in answer to your question, I would say that it can only spur them on to do better. And I know that our club is behind the team. I know that our staff are behind the team. So I think it will turn. I think it really will turn.
I tell you, we keep playing like we're playing. Sorry to jump in. Keep playing like we're playing. We'll be fine this season. We'll be absolutely fine.
You've got something else to say, Steve? I'll go
time will tell with that. But no, I was just... I mean, it's a little bit completely different sort of situation. Joe Taylor.
Yeah.
On loan at Colchester... scoring goals and playing well, as he should do at that level, absolutely. But if you're a natural goal scorer, you are a natural goal scorer pretty much at most levels. Clive Mendonca, he used to score goals every week.
Fun.
Yeah, for Grimsby. I was doing my football bets going, he's scoring again. I think Charlton signed him. He went straight from Division 3 or 4, straight up to the top flight, and he scored goals. A natural goal scorer, he's got that instinct, he's got that positional play, and I think Taylor's got that. And I'm just thinking, and he's something different to what we've got. I really think with his natural instincts, you said about that cooker pressure game at Wembley. I know
he stepped up. His penalty was fantastic.
Yeah, but he scored the goal as well. I know it was handball, but it wasn't intentional, and he had the composure to put it away, and he scored the penalty.
And he was sponsored by DLH Driving School. Just let you know.
Always drops that one in there.
Yeah, that's right. I feel he's a natural goal scorer, and I think we might be better with him in and around the squad.
The only thing, what I'll say to that, Steve, is right. I agree with what you're saying. He's a natural goal scorer. He looks good. I get that. But then, for example, what if he comes in and he doesn't score all season? what that does to his confidence. Whereas in League 2 at the moment, or he could jump up to League 1 in January, for example, and then go and bang another 10, 15 goals.
What I would
He's
say,
20, is he 21 years old now?
Yeah, what's he going to say? Where would he rather be?
I mean, I'm sure. I would
I would
where would
say-
you rather be playing in the Premier League or League 2? I mean, I know it's a
personally,
given, isn't it?
Personally, I would say that he's a great player. He's one in the mix for the future. In the same way that you said Kabore was for Manchester City, he's a really nice person. He's a really nice guy. And he will be successful. And he'll be successful with us, and then someone else will take him. That's how I look. If we're not in the Premier League, someone will take him. So I think he's making the most of his chances. We've had, it's shooting focus, we've had 102 shots and only 18 on target.
102 shots this season.
And only 18 on target.
Ever since 1885.
Listen,
To be fair, though, that's because I quite a lot of shots this season. Sorry, what? Where's this?
102 shots. Computer Jacob, producer Jacob said that.
Jacob.
There
you go.
Well, we asked you guys, why do you think we're not taking our chances? JG, ability. I think we have a very good championship team, but only a few that are genuinely good enough for the Prem. I don't want to be one of those who are screaming to spend millions, but there will be a point where we have to really open the checkbook. John says, we're overthinking it. You can see how much every goal means, so we're snatching at chances rather than relaxing like the last 2 seasons. I'd like to see Brown further forward too, rather than play virtually as a right wing back recently. And it's not a new problem. We were doing the same all last season as well. The only difference were that we were keeping clean sheets in the Championship. Cameron says that taking Saturday as a one-off, they simply fell to the wrong people. I'd back Morris to score both of Adebayo and Brown's chances, potentially even the Woodrow one too. Quite simply, apart from Morris, we haven't got anywhere near enough quality in the final third, but we knew that would be the case, and we can't afford 20 million for another striker. Mark says, I think once we get a couple of outfield goals, we'll be fine. Confidence is still an issue, and this will come when we do get a couple. I'd be more worried if we weren't making the chances.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can say our 2 wingers are absolute mustard. But yeah, 2 people mentioned the checkbook. It isn't going to happen. You know, not the sort of
Bit
level.
of fish to fry at the moment.
Yeah, not the sort of level where you know you're going to get, let's say it's in January, 10 goals from them. It isn't going to happen. You know, I mean, the sub that Everton bought on. Becco, something like it's 50 million.
Oh, Beto.
Yeah,
He
Beto.
was 40 odd million.
Yeah, 40, 50 million.
Crazy,
and all he done was send headers way over the top. So, you know, if that's what you get for 40 or 50, then
Don't bother,
yeah, put it on the ground.
Next 5 fixtures, Forest, Villa, Liverpool, Man U and Palace. Every time you look at the next fixtures to come, you just sit there and go, this is going to be difficult. Forest away, I think, is probably a good chance for us to make something. Maybe Palace at home. Villa, Liverpool, Man U, if we get anything out of those, it will be amazing.
7 points.
Okay.
Ooh, 7.
Right, just mark that one down, boys, and we'll
6.
come back to that. 6 and 7, I'll take either of those.
Forest and
Forest
Palace
away
wins.
is a point.
Oh.
Man U away. Man U are crap. We're going to win.
Yeah, but they won.
We're going to win Old Trafford,
Oh, man.
and we're going to beat Palace.
I love your optimism.
We'll beat Palace. Yeah, I think we'll beat Palace. Palace and Forest for me. What about you, Dave?
We do put a disclaimer out, don't we, before all this? You know,
Yeah.
about our
We
sense.
know nothing. That's our disclaimer. We know
And just
absolutely nothing.
before we finish, a couple of things. Andros Townsend been on trial.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm happy with that, to be fair, if he signs. Proven Premier League player, and he's decent as well.
Who'd you lose out the squad to bring him in?
I don't think... the
Isn't
thing
there
is,
a spare
I don't look
slot?
at that, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought there was a
Yeah.
spare slot
I
in
think
the
there is.
squad. Yeah.
Oh, in which
We've got
case,
23 or 24 signed up at the moment.
if he was good enough, he'd be playing for Palace, right?
Yep. And apparently, last 2 or 3 years, he's had quite a few injuries.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing. But that's what I say. If you can get him on a contract to the end of the season, like pay as you play, if you can, and he wants it, then take it.
It is alleged that Burnley, who's the manager at Burnley?
Company.
Yeah, he wanted to give him a contract, but apparently, right at the end, the board sort of said, no, we want a more sort of youthful squad.
Right, yeah.
Apparently. Any truth, don't know.
I just think it's a bit of experience that we could use that.
Yeah,
And he's got a great hair transplant as well.
Yeah, but
Amazing.
You know, we've got Nakamba sort of in the centre as well.
Yeah, but he playing the wing though.
So who are you dropping?
Townsend's a winger.
Who you dropping? Who you dropping?
I mean, for me at the moment, I don't know. It's about who we drop. It's about can he make an impact off the bench, or can you rotate your squad a little bit?
He would definitely be an impact player.
Definitely.
Right,
yeah.
you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. international break again. I don't like these, but
Nah.
they come along.
God,
And maybe
Yeah,
they
but we
come
had
along-
them in the championship as well, didn't
Yeah,
we?
but it seems like it's like 3 weeks ago we had the last one. And
was gonna say,
but
literally,
can I just
I
ask a
don't know.
question before we finish, because we're running over time? I do apologise. When was the last time we had 6 international players going off on international duty? That's crazy, isn't it?
Ah, it's got to be when we were last in the top flight, isn't it?
Well, I don't even know that it was then.
If anyone knows, then get back to us on
Yeah.
that one.
Listen-
Sorry, Dave, quick question. Who are these 6 players?
The 6 players are
Kaminski.
go for it.
Oh,
Amari Bell,
yeah.
Jacob Brown,
Brown, Scott. Is he play for Scotland? Is he Jacob Brown? Does he get called up?
Kabore, Kaminski, Lockyer, and
Ogbenny.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bell won't play though, will
no,
he?
he's injured.
His hamstring, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. Can we also another thing as well? What happened to Mads Anderson? I think his hamstring went the other day, didn't it? Again,
I don't know what his injury was, but I know, obviously
it
he went
looked
off.
like it was his hamstring, so that could be 3-4 weeks again.
Well, listen,
This is a bit of a shitter one for us. Wasn't it?
no podcast next week because of the international break, and unless we find something to talk about, and in which case we'll do a podcast and we'll let you know on our socials. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
If you've been watching us on YouTube, please leave some comments. Any inputs, we love to hear from you guys. See you at Nottingham Forest, and
Up the town.
up the town.
Key to 5, boys. Come on.